Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, Gagandeep. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So last class, if you remember, we have done the derivation of three important equations: s equal to ut plus half at square, v equal to u plus at, v square minus u square equals to 2as. Using these three equations were derived by using two methods. One was graphical method, one was calculus method. Calculus method you must practice once, and once you should write without seeing. How many of you did? Honestly, you tell. If you could not do, no problem. Okay. Anybody who was not able to do for some reason, like function, other assignments also will be there, right? Okay. So any doubt you got while doing it? Any doubt you got while doing? Or there was no problem? Okay. So the main thing is you should remember the formula for integral of x power n dx. Okay. I've forgotten to mute again. Okay. So you need to know the formula for integration of x power n. If you know that, then it will be very easy to do the derivation. Then we also understood about displacement in nth second. So when I say displacement in nth second, third second, fourth second, fifth second, okay, the idea is you have to subtract distance traveled in n seconds with distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds. So little lengthy derivation was there, but easy only. After doing that, what formula we got? U plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. Okay. So if you can remember this formula, then directly you can find distance traveled in nth second. You don't need to find this first, then this, and then subtract. Otherwise, if you don't want to use this formula, no problem. Use our old formula. What was the old formula? S equal to ut plus half at square. Correct? No? This is the formula for what? Displacement in t seconds. This is displacement in t seconds. Matlab from t how much? From t how much to t how much? From t in t seconds means from t equal to how, what I should start? From t equal to 0 to t equal to t. So from t equal to 0 to t time, whatever displacement it has moved, that is this. So you can calculate this from here, you can calculate this from here, then subtract. Or you can use this directly also. That is your wish, okay? And remember, a should be constant always while using these formulas. Then I think one diagram I made, and I asked some of you to try. Actually, whenever I ask any one of you to try means I'm asking everyone. One boy had actually messaged me. He did it, and some mistakes he had done. So I tried to rectify. So I will share with all of you. Okay. So the question that we were doing was how to identify what is displacement, what is initial velocity, and how much is time taken. Acceleration they have to mention some constant, it will be there. So the diagram which I made was something like this. Correct? No? Here I took point A, here I took point B, here I took point C, here I took point D. This was the path. This was chosen origin at time 0. So my stopwatch started from here. When the body was here, its velocity was this side, 10 meters per second. And when the body was here, velocity was 4 meters per second. and x coordinate was 2 meter. When it was here, velocity was 0. Coordinate was 8 meter. And when it reached here, velocity was this side, 2 meter per second. X coordinate is 4 meter. Correct, no? Okay. Now, from where to where I asked you to try? From C to D, I asked you to try. From C to D. Again, I will remind you, whenever you use this equation or any other two equation, you need to have 2 points in your mind. Initial point and final point that you have to choose in the path. So suppose I want to study the motion from C to D. What should be displacement? What number I should put here? The one whom I have already told, you don't answer. Let others answer. From here to here, what would be displacement? This is the mistake even that boy did, which all of you are doing, except some of you. I have told you these quantities are vectors. In one dimension, we may not put arrow mark. In one dimension, we may not put arrow mark, but that doesn't mean they are not vectors. How are we distinguishing them? This side we took positive, this side we took negative. So I wrote from C to D. C to D means this is your displacement. How much it will be? This is 8, this is 4. So this gap will be 4 meter. Gap will be 4 meter. But when I write here, for displacement, I should put with minus sign. So the minus sign is saying what? Displacement is in opposite direction to my positive direction. Understood or not? Everybody understood? The ones who wrote 4 meter? Maybe you thought I'm asking only magnitude. But when I say displacement, I'm asking vector. Displacement is vector. Okay. What is U? What is initial velocity from here to here? From C to D. This is initial. This is final. 0. So for 0, it doesn't matter. Plus 0, minus 0, 1. It doesn't matter. V is how much? V is how much? Be careful. Now it is good. Minus 2 meters. Minus 2, because it is moving this side. Now, in exam, they will give only number. In exam, they will give number only. You have to put minus sign by looking at the direction. So this is called sign convention. In school, I think you have done sign convention while doing optics, no? This side positive, this side negative. Yes or no? So same kind of sign convention you have to use here also. Okay. So displacement from here to here, this is 8, this is 4. Actually 4 should be somewhere here. Okay. In diagram, it may not look like that. Gagandeep, what happened? Should we represent S as no need in Are Baba. In one dimension, you don't have to put bar, I told. In one dimension, you can take this is positive, this is negative. That's it. In two dimension, we need to deal with components. That time we will take vector symbol. Okay. Okay. If you want to do very exactly, then you can write like this. S bar equal to minus 4 I cap. But no need to do this way. Unnecessary too much. No need to write. In one dimension, we don't need vectors actually. Okay. Time taken. This is T is time taken, remember. What was the time here? Oh, I did not write time only. I forgot to write time. What was the clock showing? Here it was 2 seconds. Here it was, first it will go there, no? Here it was 6 seconds and here it was 10 seconds. So from here to here means the clock went from 6 second mark to 10 second mark. So it will be 4 seconds. Time is positive, remember, all the time. Okay. Then I told you from where to where I told you to try. From where to where I told? A to D I told. So this is initial now. This is final. A to D. Okay, this way. Not directly A to D, like this. A to D. Okay, or I can say A to C, then to D, like this. So this is initial point, this is final point. Remember, S is displacement, and I have told you on the first day, displacement is the shortest distance from initial to final. So what is displacement from A to D? Displacement is from 0 to here is 4 meter. Diagram is not perfect, okay, it should be in the middle here. So 4 meter. Plus or minus? Plus, because it is this side, no displacement. Your displacement will be like this. This will be your displacement. Okay, so it will be plus. Okay, distance, if they ask, distance from here to here. From here to here 8. From here to here 4. So it will be 8 plus 4, 12 meter. But be careful, this is displacement, not distance. If you remember, this came from integration of dx from 0 to x, and that is x. For example, if I want from x1 to x2, what will this give me? Integration of dx is x. Put upper limit, lower limit. You will get x2 minus x1. And x2 minus x1 is displacement. So remember, the left side of this equation is not distance, it is displacement. When can it be distance also? When can it be distance also? When can this be distance also? Only straight line you cannot say, Stalin. You people are not listening to me carefully in the class. It should be in a straight line without changing direction. It should be in a straight line without changing direction. Without changing direction. Initial velocity will be what? Plus 10. Final velocity here will be what? Minus 2. From A to D. Now, time taken. Remember, it is not directly A to D. Okay, it's A to C to D. So time taken is, here it was 0 time. Here it is 10 seconds. So 10 seconds. Okay, so this is how you should find these quantities. Okay, we will do more problems later. Any doubt? Everybody understood? Okay. So you have to be careful that displacement and distance may not be same. Even in straight line, it may not be same. If the particle turns and comes back, then distance and displacement may not be same. One exercise we will do extra, okay? Whenever I do like this, extra. So now, initial velocity is 5 meter per second. Acceleration is 2 meter per second. Find displacement in third second. Find displacement in third second. Direct formula we will apply, or what shall we do? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Kishan, Samruddh. Also, one thing you notice, first question that I will ask you, is the body speeding up or slowing down? Is the body speeding up? In this example, the body will move faster or slower and slower? Faster and faster. Because why? Why, if I ask? Yeah, I like that answer. Okay, because initial velocity and acceleration both are positive. Only acceleration positive, don't try to say. Okay, better what you should say? this is also positive, this is also positive. So acceleration and velocity are in same direction. So if you see my previous videos, I have explained the body will move faster. Now they want displacement in third second, not in 3 seconds. Then we will change it. What is there? Then we retardation. Okay, what is the formula for displacement in third? First, let us write formula. Displacement in nth second, u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. So third second they told, u is 5, a is 2. Third second means how? What I should write for n? 3 minus 1. 2 cancel. 5 plus, I have seen many students writing 2 into 2. This is 6 minus 1. So this will be 5 plus 5, 10 meters. Okay. What will be the distance travel in third second? Distance travel in third second. Same or different? Only same or different you tell. Distance if I ask. It will be same because it is moving in straight line. And why it will change direction? Why it will change direction? Because it is moving positive acceleration, positive velocity. So it will keep moving faster, 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 faster. Let us try to check that if I first calculate distance traveled in 3 seconds, let us see what will I get. Ut plus half at square. So this is distance traveled in 3 seconds. Okay, so what is initial velocity? 5. Time taken 3 seconds. Acceleration 2. Time taken 3 seconds. 2 cancel. 15 plus 9. 15 plus 9, 24. Correct, students? Understood? This is what? Displacement in 3 seconds. Now let us calculate distance in 2 seconds. Initial velocity is 5 because from 0 to 2, 0 to 2. So initial velocity is 5. So initially the velocity was 5. Time taken is 2 seconds now because I am calculating displacement in 2 seconds. So 2 plus half 2 square. What will be this? 10 plus 4, 14. Now what is distance travel in third second? Distance travel in third second is displacement in 3 seconds minus displacement in 2 seconds. 24 minus 40, 10. Do you see that same answer will come? Same answer will come. So those who don't want to remember too many formulas, you can do this way, but you will lose time, and time is crucial in entrance exams. So you can do this way also. First calculate displacement from 0 to 3 seconds, then from 0 to 2 seconds, subtract, answer will come. Done, writing part is done. Do this also so that you will feel that both are correct. Now let us see what Channa is saying. If one of them is negative, what will happen? Let us see. Done, students? Okay, write down. 1 minute. Somebody is saying 1 minute. Now, let me say it is minus. This is very, very interesting. Find, listen carefully. Find distance covered in third second. Try to do this. Not from S2 to S3, from time 2 seconds to time 3 seconds. from time 2 seconds to time 3 seconds. Meter per second. Stalin, units, you have to be careful. Okay. This is very interesting. Look here. If you apply this formula, displacement in third second, displacement in third second, then what will you get? What is the formula? U plus a by 2 2n minus 1. Initial velocity is positive 5. Matlab this side is the velocity. Acceleration is minus 2. So this will become minus, no? Acceleration minus 2 matlab retardation, this side. Because these two are in opposite direction, retardation. In what second they told? Third second. What will be this? 5 minus 3 2s are 6, 6 minus 1, 5, so 0. So displacement in third second is what? Displacement in third second is 0. But in the question I told displacement in third second or distance in third second. I told distance, and you all know distance cannot be 0 once the body moves. Hello, once the body moves, distance cannot be 0. So those who wrote the answer 0, your marks is also 0. Okay. Displacement, if they ask displacement in third second, this is the answer. You will get marks. But I asked distance in third second. Can you think, students, why these two are not matching now? Why these two are not matching? Why distance and displacement are not matching? Displacement is coming 0, but distance cannot be 0 once you move. What is distance? Path length. It is not same because now, yes, because now the object is very good. Now the object is turning. So if the object is turning, understood, very good. Since the object is going to turn, we have to check. First, listen carefully, now stop writing. So first, what we have to do in this problem? First, we have to check at what time it will turn, and whenever it will turn, velocity will be what? At what time velocity will be 0? Because the velocity is decreasing, acceleration is negative, negative matlab it will slow down. Slow down matlab 5 meter per second will become 3 meter per second, 2 meter per second, then 1 meter per second, then 0. Then it will turn back. So we have to check where it will turn. Understood or not? Okay. How to check that? Very simple. Using, since I know V, I want V to be 0, right? I want final velocity to be 0 in order to know at what time it will turn. So since I know V is 0, what is the formula? V equal to U plus A. So final velocity, I want it to be 0. Initial velocity is 5. Acceleration is minus 2. Time taken is T. This is from 0 to T, okay? So time taken from 0 to T is 5 by 2. Correct? Now 2T will come this side. 2T equal to 5 equals to 2.5 seconds. So what did we learn from here? It will turn at what time from the start? 2.5 seconds. So let us draw a picture. A picture will help you. So look here. Let's say this is my starting point. Initial point. Here velocity was 5 meter per second. Or not visible, no? Okay, let me write this data here, okay, so that I can use it later. Listen carefully, students. This is very interesting problem, okay? So let's say it starts from here. What is the initial velocity here? 5 meter per second. and acceleration is this side. Opposite it is. Okay. Again. So acceleration is this side. So now what happens? We know it will slow down. So we slow down, stop, go back like this. It will keep going back. Now this time is your starting time, no? Because initial velocity is 5 meters per second. So time 0, initial velocity is 5. At what time it stopped? 2.5. So when it reaches here, time taken is how much? 2.5. Clear till here? Clear? Everybody, diagram is clear? What I'm trying to show? Okay. Now, third second they are saying. Third second is between 2 seconds and 3 seconds or not? Third second is between 2 seconds and 3 seconds. So let us say this is your time is 2 seconds. And 3 seconds will not, once 2.5 seconds crosses, the particle will not be here. It will be backside. So since this interval is same, it will be here. 3 seconds. That is why displacement is coming 0. You understood why displacement is coming 0 in third second? Because third second matlab what? Third second matlab between 2 seconds and 3 seconds. You check. Between 2 seconds and 3 seconds, it is in the same point. Yes or no? Same point. Like this. 2 seconds it was here. 2.5 it will stop. Then come back. So when time is 3 seconds, it is back to the same point. You understood why displacement came 0? In third second, why it came 0? The reason why displacement came 0 in third second is because in 2 seconds and in 3 seconds, it is at the same position. I am drawing like this for your clarity. Otherwise, actually it is like this. Like this. It will go, stop, come back. So, to find the distance, we need to first find this distance. This distance. Yeah, displacement will be 0. Very good. So now to find the distance, we need to first find this distance. This is displacement, ma. We are trying to calculate distance, Channa. Distance, path length. Path length. Suppose you travel 10 meter, come back 10 meter, your distance is 20 meter. You were there, no, in previous classes? Okay, now look here. So from here to here, what is the distance that we have to calculate? Let us call this distance some symbol, let us say S. S, let us say. So from here to here. Now how to calculate that? Well, we have to find here what is the velocity. When it reaches here, what is the velocity? So let me mark points. A, this point let me mark B, this point let me mark C. Okay, students? And this point let me mark D. First I mark the points. Then to find this distance from here to here, I need to know velocity here. Okay, here. So I will use my kinematic equation from A to B first. Because I know velocity here, remember. Okay, students? So from A to B, let me use the formula V equal to U plus AT. Which is the final point? B. So this is velocity at B. This is velocity at A. Understood? What is velocity at B? I have no idea. What is initial velocity at A? What is initial velocity at A? They have given initial point 5. Acceleration is constant, we know, -2. What is time taken from here to here? A to B I am applying. Be careful. 2 seconds. So velocity at B is 1 meter per second. Right? So I came to know when the particle is here, it has a velocity 1 meter per second. But let me put a circle here. Why circle? Because I have found it. It was not given in the question. I have found it. Okay. Now, remember I want this distance. So now I will use my kinematic equations from, can you guess from where to where I will use now? just wait, somebody asks something. Can you type again? Somebody asks a long question. Can you just copy and paste? Sir, does VB, wait, Tanuj. Sir, does VB now become, that is what I'm saying, correct. Wait, no, but that is what I'm doing, no. So from B to C now. See, let me complete the problem. Otherwise, no, to check the message, it takes time. So from B to C, I will use the equation S equal to UT plus half AT square. You already know what is the meaning of U, initial velocity, but at which point now? Which is initial point now? B, very good. So this is velocity at B, remember. So distance covered from here to here, or displacement, same thing from here to here, B to C, B to C, this part. So displacement or distance from B to C will be what? Initial velocity at B is 1. Who can tell me time taken from here to here? B to C. 0.5 seconds. Super. Why 0.5 seconds? Because my clock here shows 2 seconds. My clock here shows 2.5 seconds, starting from 0 clock. Plus half. Acceleration is constant, no problem, minus 2. Time taken is 0.5 square. 0.5 square. So this will be 0.5 minus 2 cancel. 0.5 square will be 0.25. 0.5 minus 0.25 will be 0.25 meter. Okay. This is the displacement from what time to what time? 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Therefore, if they ask displacement, then this is 0.25. This will be also 0.25 this side. So one is plus 0.25, one is minus 0.25. Displacement, if they ask, vector quantity. Total displacement will be 0, but they asked distance. So distance in third second will be from here to here 0.25, from here to here 0.25. That will be 0.5 meters. Understood everybody? Good problem or not? Nice problem, right? So in the option, no, there will be 0 also. And many students I know will tick 0. Many students will tick 0. But they will forget that in the question it is mentioned as distance covered, not displacement. Okay. Now let us do some learning exercise also. Extra questions only we cannot do, right? Learning exercise 3.7 we have to do. First question already we have done. Displacement in nth second derivation we have done. Question number 2. Similar question I will post in the group. You can try later. Okay. Learning exercise 3.7, question number 2 you see. Listen carefully. Then use the technique, no? Whatever I have taught, from 2 to 2.7 find displacement, from 2.7 to 3 second find displacement. Some few things you should also try, okay? Everything you should not expect Pankaj sir will do, but technique will be same, okay? Question number 2 you see. A train is moving along a straight track with constant acceleration. Thank you. That means we can use our kinematic equations because acceleration is constant. When the front end passes through a point P on the track, so P is a point on the track, it has a speed v1. And when the rear end passes through the same point, it has a speed v2. What is the speed of the train when the midpoint of the train passes through the same point. So you may have to read the question once more. I will explain. Look here. This is your track, let's say. This is your track, okay? I will draw a little bit above, okay, because I will need more space. So this is my track. They told P is a point on the track. Somewhere, anywhere you can imagine. Now they told when the front end, imagine this is the train. By the way, students, one thing let me ask. Suppose this is a train. Right now, if this point is moving with 10 meters per second, suppose, what is the velocity of this point right now? Remember, it is accelerating, so velocity will change, I know. But right now, if this end has 10 meters per second, what is the velocity of this end or this end or this end or this end? Same only, sir. Otherwise, the train will stretch, no? If this is moving very slowly, if this is moving very slowly, this is moving very fast, the train will become longer. Similarly, if this is not moving and this is moving very fast, the train will get compressed. Since train we are considering as a rigid body, when it is moving like this, every point will have same velocity. Every point will have same velocity at any given time. At any given time. So right now, if this has 10 meters per second, every part will be 10 meters per second. After some time, will it be same after some time? No, because there is acceleration. In the problem, there is acceleration. So after some time, this will move faster, but this will also have more velocity, faster velocity. Understood? Okay. So they told when the front end passes through this point, that time the velocity of the train is v1. Speed they told, which is nothing but magnitude of velocity. So magnitude is v1, direction, let us assume this side. Then this is the first case, okay, first picture. Then they told third picture, second picture we will draw later. Third picture is when P is there only, P where it will go. P is a point on the track. Then what they told, when the rear end, yeah. Now if this is L, this is also L, okay. When the train has reached here, what will be the what is the velocity they told? What is the velocity they told? V2, I think. Correct? So this is given, this is given. What we have to find? When the midpoint of the train, before this will happen, right? The midpoint will be here. Yeah. So something like this. So that time its velocity we have to find. Think of the diagram. So this is the front end when the front end reaches. This is the rear end when it reaches. And this is the midpoint. Everybody understood the diagram? Very slowly I have made. It is moving faster or slower in the question. Since there is acceleration, it is moving faster. So here is a point P in the track. When this end is passing, this end, that time velocity is v1 for all the parts, v1. Then when back end is reaching, velocity is v2. Understood? Now before that will happen, what will happen? This will happen or not? This part. Yes or no? Before this will happen, this will happen. No, when the midpoint will pass. So when the train passes, when the midpoint of the train passes through the point P, what is the velocity at that moment? They are asking. And obviously, which velocity will be more? Channa, this velocity will be more or this velocity will be more? V2 will be more or V1 will be more? It is accelerating, remember. V2 will be more because it is accelerating. So V will be more than V1. So what I have to do? Simple, no problem. Let us call this 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from first stage, to second stage. Let us call this stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. From stage 1 to stage 2, the trend's velocity was v1. Now the trend's velocity is v. Can you tell me what is the displacement of the trend? What is the displacement of the trend from here to here? In terms of this length, you tell. L by 2, right? Why? Because this point which was here is now here. This point which was here is now here. And this point which was there is now here. So displacement of the train is L by 2. Everybody accept it? This point is now here, you see. Middle point is here. Last end is here. So every point has traveled. All the parts of the train has traveled at displacement of L by 2. So using which formula? I know initial velocity, I want final velocity, and I know displacement. So I will use v square minus u square equals to 2as. So from 1 to 2, final velocity of the train is v. Initial velocity they told v1. Acceleration is constant. And displacement is L by 2. Correct? Displacement is L by 2. 2 will cancel. V square minus v1 square equals to AL. This is your equation 1. Remember, our answer should be in terms of v1 and v2, because in the question, if you read, only v1 and v2 was given. v1 and v2. Only v1 and v2 are given. So your answer, final answer for this should be in terms of v1 and v2. A should not be there, L should not be there. So you need one more equation. From 2 to 3, let me do. Those who are interested, you can try from 1 to 3 also, your wish. So from 2 to 3, this will be initial, this will be final. So using again the same formula, v square minus u square equals to 2as. What will be v now from 2 to 3? Final velocity, what I should write, v2 or v? v2. So v2 square, and initial velocity will be v, remember. Acceleration is constant, we know. Same symbol. What is the displacement from here to here? Same thing, this point which was there has reached here. Has reached here. This point has reached here. This point has reached here. So every part has traveled a distance L by 2. 2 cancel. Now, since we don't want A and L, because our answer should be in terms of V1 and V2, what I should do? Diagram is done, right? So what I should do from equation 1 and 2? Just equate the both, because right sides are same. So from 1 and 2, if right sides are same, left side should be same. V square minus V1 square should be V2 square minus V square. Then bring it this side. V square plus V square will be V1 square plus V2 square. So 2V square will be V1 square plus V2 square. So V square will be V1 square plus V2 square divided by 2. Then V they want, so square root. So this is where you can stop, because now I am giving the unknown quantity in terms of given quantities. These two were given. Okay. Okay. Students, now one very important point I want to give you, which I will prove also, and that is, if condition, you remember, if is very important. If initial velocity of a body is 0 and if it moves under constant acceleration, so remember, acceleration should be constant and initial velocity is 0. Matlab, it starts from rest. Example could be like this. If I drop a ball, it will start with 0 velocity because I'm holding the ball right now and I'm releasing it, not throwing. If you throw, your hand is moving now. So the pen will also be moving at that moment when I am releasing it. But if I simply release, then initial velocity will be 0. And acceleration of gravity is constant only. So if initial velocity of a body is 0 and if it moves under constant acceleration, then ratio of displacements in equal intervals of time will be 1:3:5:7:9:. So this ratio, this will not be equal, okay? Because there is acceleration, no? So if there is acceleration, velocity will keep increasing. So this proof we have to do. We have to show that the ratio of displacements in successive, I forgot to write successive, okay? Successive equal intervals of time. The interval of time can be 1 second, no problem. Can be 3 seconds, no problem. But the interval of time should be equal. Matlab, a body starts with 0 velocity, okay? First 1 second. If it covers, let's say 1 meter, first 1 second. Then next 1 second, it will cover 3 meters. Next 1 second, it will cover 5 meters. Next 1 second, it will cover 7 meters. Like that, we have to prove. Similarly, if in the first 1 second, it can be equal, 0.1, but it has to be equal, Sujan. It has to be equal successive seconds. So if in the first 0.1 second, if it covers 10 meter, then next 0.1 second, it should cover how many meter according to this rule? If in the first 0.1 second, if it covers 10 meter, according to this rule, it should cover 30 meter. So that we have to prove. The ratio will be 1:3:5. And why is it increasing? Because there is acceleration. If acceleration is there, velocity will increase. So you will cover more displacement in equal intervals of time. So though I will prove, you need to memorize this so that you can do the problems easily. Write the statement. This law, this is actually a law. It is called, I don't know how many of you know, in class 9 actually they tell you, this is called Galileo's law. Galileo's law of odd numbers. Galileo's law of odd numbers. Okay, what he did was he took some plank and he allowed a body to fall from rest. So initial velocity was 0 and acceleration in this direction is constant, which is nothing but component of gravity, which I will tell you later, don't worry. Component of gravity in this direction. So acceleration was constant. Then what he did, he waited for equal intervals of time. That during those days, clock and all was not there. So he used his pulse, okay, or heartbeats. So using that, he waited for equal intervals of time and he measured these distances. So after one heartbeat, suppose it reached here, then next heartbeat, it reached here. Next heartbeat, it reached here. And if this distance is s first, this is s second, this is s third, then he found the ratio of these to be 1:3:5. Understanding or not understanding, ma? I'm just trying to tell you what he did historically. No need to know this for exam. Okay. Now, can anybody tell me why he made it go like this? Why he didn't do like this? Channa, can you think? Why it was not done like this and why it was allowed to go on a inclined plane? Anybody can answer? Think, no problem. Whether you are... that's what I'm asking. Why slope was used, Advait? No, A will be constant this way also. A will be constant this way also. Acceleration due to gravity is constant. That's why component is also constant. The main reason was this way, no, it will go very fast. This way it will go very fast. So it will be difficult to measure how much distance it covers. Got the point? But if you make it move on an inclined plane, it goes little slowly, so you can measure the distance. Yeah, basically it is easy to measure the distance. So let us try to prove this. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It will be true in freely falling body also. But to measure that, no, he did not do freely falling. In that case, it moves very fast. And those days they did not have fast cameras and all. Nowadays, though, you can take pictures after microseconds also. And you can check experimentally from the photograph directly. You can check. Yeah, the ratio is 1:3:5. So look here. Everyone concentrate. Proof I'm giving, okay? Initial velocity is 0. This is only for entrance, okay? No need to study for board exam. So initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is constant. I can prove to you directly also, indirectly also. Let us prove directly. Let us prove directly, okay? What is the formula for displacement in nth second? U plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. Anyways, it is for entrance. In board exam, it will not be asked. So it doesn't matter whether you do directly or lengthy way. This is the formula or not, students? Displacement for first second or second or third second. This is the formula. Now, what is the initial velocity? 0. Correct? Yeah. Now tell me what is the displacement in the first second. First second means n equal to 1 you put. N equal to 1. A by 2, 2 into 1 minus 1. A by 2. Correct? Now tell me displacement in second. A by 2, 2 into 2 minus 1. 3a by 2. Right? 2 2s are 4. 4 minus 1, 3. Displacement in third second. A by 2, 2 into 3 minus 1. 2 3s are 6. 6 minus 1, 5. 5a by 2. And so on. And so on. Not how, it is condition. If you drop something, initial velocity is 0. Then you should ask why how a is constant also. When you study something, you are doing some assumption, right? You are saying if this is true, this is what will happen. If paper is flat, the interior angles of a triangle will be 180 degrees. If paper is flat, if paper is curved, that law will not work. Interior angles of a triangle will not be 180 degrees. So you are putting some condition and you are studying what happens. And so on. So what will be the ratio? What will be ratio? A by 2 is to 3a by 2 is to 5a by 2. A by 2 you can cancel. So what will you get? 1:3:5. So very easily you can prove like this, okay, without doing too much of hard work. This is enough. Directly is enough, no? Or you want me to use the first formula and do it? That will take a lot of time. You can try, no problem. So you can try that one if you wish, but this one is enough to understand why the ratio of the distances traveled in equal intervals of time will be 1:3:5. Here I took the interval 1 second. You can take the interval 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 100 seconds, 0.001 seconds. It doesn't matter. As long as your interval is same, answer will come same. Okay, let's see what next we have to do. Okay, students, now in the remaining class, I have to teach you before we start doing more problems and all. One small thing in mathematics, I wanted to teach you something. I hope you know that, but still I want to revise once because very important and lot of things can be done faster by knowing that. So this is a small tool of mathematics, okay, which we need. And I'm sure most of you know this, but still I will try to revise it so that everyone will be in the same level. And the concept is concept of proportionality. Proportionality. Those students who know this very nicely, they can do many MCQs very fast. Right now in second PU, when I'm teaching, some students they were not present when I was doing this topic. So they struggle even now to solve some problems faster. So for some 10 minutes like that, I will try to separately do something else. Okay, this is proportionality. What is the topic? Proportionality. So now you tell me, suppose y depends on x and I say y is proportional to x. What does it mean? So what does it mean when I say y is directly proportional to x? Y changes, x also changes. That would mean y is a function of x. If y increases, x also. Why all of you are saying ulta? Y depends on x, no? If x increases, y increases. Okay. No, y depends on x can be true for this also. Here also y depends on x. Some person is saying y is equal to x. Okay. Y changes with x. Okay, fine. Enough now. Let us discuss this. So when it is directly proportional, many students say when x increases, y also increases. This much they will say and stop. But that is dangerous. Okay, that much knowing only is very dangerous. Okay. So what actually it means, let me try to explain. Suppose this is pocket money, my pocket money, and this is my father's salary. My pocket money, my father's salary. Which one depends on whom? Which one is y, which one is x? Remember, y depends on x. So this is y because pocket money depends on father's salary. Okay, so y depends on x. So this is y, this is x. Now, let us say my father's salary is, let's say, 1,000. Okay, stop writing now, concentrate. Suppose my father's salary is 1,000 and I am getting, let's say, 5 rupees. Very good father. See, so much percentage he is giving. So out of 1,000 rupees, he is giving me 5 rupees. What will be the ratio y by x? What will be the ratio y by x? 5 by 1,000. 1 by 200. 1 by 200, right? Okay. Now, suppose tomorrow my father did a very good job. Suppose my father did a very good job and somebody said, his boss is saying to him, your salary has been doubled. 2 times it has increased to. Then his new salary is 2000. His new salary is 2000. Now he comes to his home, our home, and then he says, son, I'm very happy today. I'm going to give you today increase in pocket money. I'll make it 20 rupees. No, he made it 20 rupees. My father is great. 20 rupees he made it. It's a rule, 10 rupees only he should give. No, it's up to him. No. Now you see, X increased or not? X increased or not? Just say Y or N. X increased or not? Y increased or not? Y also increased. So look here. X also increased. Y also increased. But right now, you cannot say Y is proportional to X. So saying only this is dangerous. Saying only this is dangerous. Because in this example, X has increased. Y has increased. But we cannot say Y is proportional to X. We cannot say. But suppose he says it increased 10 now. Before it was 5, it is 10. Now Gagandeep is writing properly. So now if it is 10, so now it is proportional. Now it is proportional. Okay. So what will be the ratio now? Y by X. What will be ratio now? Y by X. Stay in the topic. Y by X will be how much? 1 by 200. For some reason, let's say he did some mistake and his pocket money became, sorry, his salary became half, which means 500. And then if it is proportional, he should make my pocket money also half. Now what will be ratio? Will be ratio. Divide, no? 500 by 5 by 2. 2 will go up. Right? So now also it will be 1 by 200. Sorry. Ulta idea. Okay. Y by X means 5 by 2 divided by 500. So 1 by 200. So what I want all of you to know is this. See, all of you know this, but you are not telling it properly. So next time, listen carefully, students. Next time, whenever you see Y proportional to X, what you should say? Y by X will be constant. That is very important. Yeah, the ratio should be constant. So that if you don't say this, no, then it is not proportional. Understood? Okay. Similarly, next time if somebody says, that means if I write equal to cross multiply, Y will be constant into X. If you cross multiply. So Y proportional to X means this actually. Y is equal to constant X. Similarly, if somebody says Y is inversely proportional to X, what does it mean? Y is equal to constant into 1 by X. So please remember this small thing. Very small thing, I know, basic thing, but very, very important. So in order to say, these two are inversely proportional, this factor must be constant. If this factor is not constant, you cannot say like that. Similarly here, if Y and X are proportional, this factor should be constant. Whatever is sitting here should be constant. So for example, see some examples. Okay, very important examples are there. Listen carefully. If I say, have you seen this formula in your class 10 chapter? Have you seen this formula? P equal to I square R. Some of you are saying no, sir. So well, this formula is for power. Okay, some of you have not seen, leave it. Have you seen this formula in your school days? Have you seen this formula? Yeah, this is formula for kinetic energy, right? Okay. Now look here. If I write this formula, this is in terms of what? This is mass, this is velocity. This is mass, this is velocity. Okay. If I write this formula in terms of momentum, momentum is defined as mass into velocity. Momentum is defined as mass into velocity. So from here, if I write this formula in terms of momentum, not velocity, what I should do? Substitute for velocity. Substitute for velocity. What will you get? Half m. What is velocity in terms of momentum? P by m. P by m. Square is there, right? Square, square. Everybody understood this part? I just substituted for velocity from the definition of momentum. What happens? You see, one momentum cancel. Sorry, one mass cancel. So what is the formula for kinetic energy? Half m v square. What is the formula in terms of momentum? Half p square by m. Which one is correct? Which one is wrong? Or both are correct? Both are correct because I have done only substitution. I have done only substitution, so both are correct. But look carefully now. Look carefully. Yeah, both are correct in their own way. Now look here. In this formula, where is mass sitting? Mass is in the numerator. So here you may be feeling like saying in this formula, K is proportional to mass. Here, where is mass sitting? Here mass is sitting where? Downstairs. Downstairs matlab denominator. So here you will feel like saying K is inversely proportional to mass. Correct? No, you will feel like saying like that. So here K is proportional to mass. Here K is inversely proportional to mass. So like that feeling will come. So now suppose I say there is a truck moving and there is a cycle moving. And I ask, which one has more kinetic energy? Don't try to answer. Don't try to answer. Even if you answer, it will be wrong. Because I have not given complete information. Not because you don't know. Because complete information is not given, so wait. Suppose I give you a truck and I give you a cycle. And suppose I ask, which one has more kinetic energy? Which one has more kinetic energy? Suppose I ask, which one has more kinetic energy? Now look here, the problem. First formula you see. What will you say? I told, looking at this formula, you will say K is proportional to mass. So if you use first formula will say, whichever has more mass will have more kinetic energy, proportional, na? So first formula will say truck will have more kinetic energy. Somebody will say, no, I like second, just now Channa told, both are correct in their own way. So if you see second formula, according to second formula, which will have more kinetic energy? It is inversely proportional. Inversely means what? If this is less, this will be more. Correct or not? So which one will have more kinetic energy? Cycle will have more kinetic energy. So first formula is saying truck has more kinetic energy. Second formula is saying cycle has more kinetic energy. What nonsense is going on? How can both have more kinetic energy? Either I am taller or you are taller. How is I am taller than you, you are taller than me, like that? It is not possible. So the problem is what? The problem is in understanding the meaning of proportionality. Just because it is in numerator, you cannot say these two are proportional. You have to check. Was velocity constant in the problem? Was momentum constant in the problem? That you have to check. What I told you, if y is proportional to x or y is inversely proportional to x. Y should be equal to what into x? What into x? Tell me quickly. Constant. This should be constant for both the in the problem. So it was not mentioned in the problem which is moving, which is having more velocity. I mean, which is are they having same velocity or are they having same momentum? That was not mentioned. If they say they have same velocity, if they say velocity is same, that it means velocity is constant. If velocity is constant, you can use this formula. Understood? Now momentum cannot be constant because velocity is constant, mass is different. So momentum cannot be constant. Nah, momentum is mass into velocity. Velocity is constant, I'm saying, but mass is different. So momentum will be different now. So if the problem said velocity of the two objects are same, then you can think this is constant now for both, constant. Then you can say k is proportional to m. Now you can say, then you can say the one with more mass will have more kinetic energy. So truck will have more kinetic energy. But what if they say both have same momentum? If they say they have same momentum, then can I say velocity is constant now? If momentum is constant for two different mass, if momentum is constant for two different mass, how can velocity be constant? So now velocity is not constant. Now momentum is constant. If momentum is constant, now you should say k is inversely proportional to mass. That means less mass will have more kinetic energy. So cycle will have more kinetic energy. So that is how the knowledge of proportionality will help you to understand all these things. Okay. Anyways, all these things I will be teaching you more in this course. Many examples you will get, more examples you will get. Another thing I want to tell you, is, suppose y is proportional to x. Okay, what does it mean? I told y by x will be constant. That means if y1 and x1 are the initial values and y2 by x2 are the final values, ratio should be same. Correct or not? This is correct or not? If y is proportional to x. Yeah. So now if somebody says x2 is double of x1. If somebody says x2 is double of x1, quickly tell me y2 will be how much? Y2 will be how many times y1? Put here, substitute. Substitute here and check. Y1 by x1, y2 by x2 is double of x1, x1 cancel, cross multiply, y2 will be double of y1. Correct? Y2 will be double of y1. Correct or not? How x1 cancel? No. Okay. So I don't want you to do this kind of calculation. If you see y is proportional to x anywhere in any equation you see, that means if x increases 2 times, y will also increase 2 times. Fast you should say. You should not do this calculation. Understanding or not? Similarly, sometimes y will be proportional to x square. Sometimes y will be proportional to x square. Then it means what? Same logic. Y by x square should be constant. Yes or no? If y is proportional to x square, y by x square should be constant. Now, this means what? If y1 and x1 are initial values, y2, x2 are initial values, these two should be equal. Agree? If y is proportional to x square. For example, I can tell you kinetic energy is proportional to velocity square if mass is constant. So if mass is constant, kinetic energy is proportional to v square. Many examples are there in physics. So now if somebody says now, if x2 is double of x1, मतलब x is increased 2 times. Try to calculate y2 will be how many times y1. Try to substitute this here. Calculate y2 will be how many times y1. So there substitute y1 by x1 square will be y2 by x2 is given twice of x1 square. So y1 by x1 square will be y2 by 4 x1 square. X1 square cancel, cross multiply. Y2 will be 4y1. Understood or not? Because of the square. So again, I don't want you to waste time here. No need to waste time here. No need. No need to waste time. How to do it faster? Look here. If somebody says x increased 2 times. If somebody says this x has increased 2 times, matlab doubled, then y will increase how many times if they ask? This square is there or not? This square is for decoration. No, it is there. So if this becomes 2 times, this will become 2 square times. 2 square times means how much? 2 square times means how much? 4 times. So like this, you should be able to write directly. For entrance exam, I'm saying students. Understood or not? So no need to do this Jamila. So last one, you tell me yourself. Sometimes y will be proportional to x power 3. Sometimes y will be proportional to x power 3. Now if I say x has increased 2 times, y will increase how many times? 8. Very good. Y 8 2 power 3 times. So 2 power 3 times means 8 times. That means y2 final value will be 8 times incident. Okay, try to remember this small thing. This will help you very, very much, students. I'm telling you, this technique will help you very much. Sometimes, I don't know what number is this, 4 or something. Y will be inversely proportional to x. Many examples are there. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Now, if they say, directly we will do, okay, not that whole equations we will not write. If x increases 2 times, then y will become how many times? Anybody can guess? Half times. Because if x becomes 2 here, y will become 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So your new value of y will be half of initial value. Directly you should be able to say, directly. Suppose y is inversely proportional to x square. If somebody says x has increased 2 times, y will become how many times? 1/4. That means new value will be 1/4 of initial value. So this technique, whichever I have taught, please remember, I will see you